I'm now officially fed up with Hollywood hypocrisy. Blowhard Keith Olbermann is at it again, talking about things he knows nothing about. Now he's going after my buddy, veteran U.S. Navy SEAL Dom Raso. Why, you ask? For a video where he shows us his expertise protecting himself and others in a situation where an active shooter enters a movie theater. It's all about giving you knowledge to protect yourself as well. Watch.
Holding out on us. It's everybody, money. Mr. Eddie told me to come and collect what's his.
Who the f*** is that?
It's my boss. I'm a working man.
You're going to hear an initial action, but you're going to wait for a second action.
Well, everything in that video is exactly what Dom taught me to do in that situation. And I guess Keith Olbermann would rather not learn something. He'd prefer to be a sitting duck. In response to that video, Olbermann tweeted this, quote, "Another reminder that every time there's a mass shooting and every time somebody becomes fearful that there might be on, the NRA makes money for itself and its clients. Like big tobacco, it has monetized the death of Americans." Keith Olbermann is out of control with the rest of his liberal anti-gunners. I'll tell you what, I am fed up with it because all of us must take responsibility for our personal protection. Something Keith Olbermann doesn't have to do, by the way, because he's surrounded by armed bodyguards most of his life. Something most Americans cannot afford. You get a guy like Dom Raso, a veteran Navy SEAL who put his life on the line for America to keep people safe. He gets out of the service and continues to make sure that people are safe and empowered with the knowledge they need to keep people safe. And Keith Olbermann wants to make this a war on the NRA. An organization, mind you, so committed with keeping people safe, it would make Keith Olbermann look like a fool if he was anywhere near a firearm, because my guess is he has never been near one. Dom Raso, veteran Navy SEAL and NRA commentator, is my guest. Dom, it gets me fired up because that scene is exactly what everyone fears, and you're either prepared or you're not for it.
I am so fed up with and tired. This guy's got 1 million followers on Instagram. People are buying this crap. What is this guy's resume? You talk about experience, you talk about having a background, talk about being a subject matter expert. This guy's got a resume of being fired, going from place to place to place to monetize. He talks about a tweet. He talks about a social media post that we put out online to make people better, more capable, more aware of protecting themselves and their family. From in my heart, I want people to be the best version of themselves, so that stuff does not happen. And this guy's going to turn around, talk to 1 million people, and say, oh, they're just doing it to make money. They're just doing it for their clients to raise funds. That couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of guys like this having a platform that just want to run away from the truth. We talk about fight or flight. This is straight flight mode. These guys want to run as far as fast as they can from the truth and hope that it doesn't catch them. Well, I have news for you guys, and I have news for everybody else watching this. Real things happen. Bad things happen. They're going to, they have, and they will continue to happen. And I would rather put you in a position to embrace reality instead of run away from it, so you can be in the best position possible in order to protect yourself.
Dom, I know you don't need backup, all right? But it really ticks me off when a guy like Keith Olbermann, who is clearly a wuss, questions the commitment of you and your buddies when it comes to keeping Americans safe. These videos are about just that, keeping people safe. And this is a guy, mind you, who literally has armed security everywhere he goes. I'm sure in his studios is surrounded by armed security. And yet we put out a video there that maybe might help somebody, God forbid if that happens. and we're going to take advice from him and not a Navy SEAL? Come on.
Grant, guys like Keith and everybody else that are following him and buying this crap, they want the easy button. And I'm going to tell you right now, it is difficult to embrace reality. There's no doubt about it. What I've done with my entire career has been embracing reality, one action after the other, and has been anything but easy. But I've done it. I've taken that hard path, and I've put myself in a position. What this guy is talking to people about and saying is complete just nonsense, and it's getting frustrating. And I'm tired of keeping my mouth shut. We have been for a long time. And this guy needs to be called out. He's making people think differently and putting them in a bad situation.
So, Dom, here's the sad reality of this. We could take Keith Olbermann's name and we could substitute it with Joy Behar's name. We could substitute it with any name we want to think of that comes from liberal Hollywood or the entertainment crowd. The sad reality is they're pushing this nonsense on Americans. Too many Americans are buying into it. It's why we have the rise of NRA TV. It's why we're putting out videos like yours. But sadly, this is a fight, and we've got to fight back, and the only way we do it is with the truth, buddy.
Guys like him, they are the ones trying to fill the space up with lies, right? When it gets uncomfortable and the going gets tough, they're filling the airspace up with lies. They are the ones with the political agenda. We are literally starting from the ground level, being like, this is a human element of safety and protection for our lives. I'm trying to show people and put things into context. In that movie theater setting, we're like, don't tell me that you don't go out in public today or anywhere else in the world and you think about these things, saying, you know what, this is a very real thing that could happen to me, and I'm going to embrace that. And I would rather you be empowered and say, have the tools you need to go to relax in a movie theater, have the tools you need to relax to go out with your family. I want you to be in the better position. But no, guys like Keith are going to tell everybody else and sell his lies and say it's okay to run away from the truth. And you know what? It's unfortunate because people are starting to buy it, and they're all 1 million people are following him. I know I'm not following him. So there's 1 million people that are buying his crap, and people got to snap out of it and embrace the truth.
When a gun-hating wuss like Keith Olbermann questions the commitment and conviction of a Navy SEAL, it ticks me off. And Dom, I was with two of your buddies over the weekend. Two more Navy SEALs who served side by side with you in places like Iraq and Afghanistan. You know what they were doing? We were on a range, and they were training us, me and 12 other everyday Joes, how to protect ourselves. I promise you, Keith Olbermann is in some fancy conference room right now, surrounded by producers laughing at his stupid jokes. He's done nothing to keep anybody safe in his life. And when he questions what you do, what those men do, the commitment of the NRA of keeping people safe, he's got to be called out on it. And don't ever stop calling him out on it. And I'm going to stand side by side with you to do it every day of the week if that's what it takes, Dom.
I'm going to tell you right now, there's a picture of Keith Olbermann wrapped up in American flag. I'm going to tell you right now, you want to talk about embarrassing? You want to talk about from the root level of honor? Everything that we talk about is integrated with honor. Why? Because the very foundation and the ground that we stand on today has been fought for consistently with blood, sweat, and tears. And the second that you start, not only does he look like an embarrassment, but you're going to call people out that truly want the best for this country, and they're just going so far away from that. It's sickening to me, and it's an embarrassment, and guys like that just should not have a platform. Who is this guy? This tweet came up. I'm like, who's Keith Olbermann? A guy that has a resume of getting fired and then wants to tell a bunch of people that this isn't the right way to be thinking, to run away from the truth. I'm over it. And, we got to keep calling these guys out and tell people what the real truth is, and to protect themselves and take their own personal security seriously.
Yeah. When I see a guy like Keith Olbermann in a flag like that your buddies laid their lives down for, it makes me sick to my stomach. The truth is he needs to be in a Snuggie, not the American flag. Dom Raso, I appreciate you coming on the program, buddy.